Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's time for coffee, the podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Jennifer Garibay. So you started working at High Profile Promotions while you were still in college. I think you were going into your senior year. Is that about right?
Junior, senior year. Yeah, right around there.
Okay. And you were a brand representative. You were one of the people that you went on to manage. What does it mean to be a brand representative? What were you doing?
Yeah, no, of course. So brand repping is super fun. You know, you're the boots on the ground, the people who get to do all the talking, all the contact with people, which feels so foreign right now in COVID. But essentially, you know, really that person who is waiting at the door with a smile, you know, hi, would you like to try this product? It's delicious. It's only $12. You can take it home and stick it in your freezer and bake with it and make shots with it. And, you know, that was always my sort of pitch. And that's honestly what got me my job as manager, was just the fact that I was very good at sales. I would do a lot of research beforehand, and I would know everything there was to know about the product. You know, when someone would ask, where was it made? I would know where it was made. If they would ask, how can I make it in a drink? I would tell them 10 different ways. You know, do you like fruity drinks? Do you like strong drinks? Do you like, know your audience, have something for everyone, and there'll always be something to offer them.
And you gave out shots too, so you must have been pretty popular.
Oh, yes. Very popular with the free shots, and definitely a lot of people were honest about it. They're like, I'm just here for the shot. I'm like, it's fine. Just take it. It's all good.
So what skills do you think you were honing, Jennifer, while you were selling alcohol to customers?
Definitely honing my, customer service skills, my interaction with people, my charisma, I would say. I've always been very comfortable with people, but, being in sales, you have to learn a certain sort of charm with people and an ability to speak to them and make them feel good about themselves, about your product. So definitely honing things in that regard. My ability to collaborate and partner with people was definitely honed there as well. As well as, that research was difficult sometimes, I would say, in the products that were a lot smaller. We did represent some products that didn't have a ton of information available on them. So it might be a little bit more difficult to find those recipes or information on the brand if the brand didn't provide it to me, which was honestly kind of the brand's bad, but they should have been doing that. But regardless, I always made sure I was prepared and doing my job effectively. So all of those, I'd say.
So what was your best seller?
The best seller, I would say it was, oh my goodness, I don't remember what flavor of Bailey's it was, but there was a time where I sold out a liquor store that had something, it was around Christmas time, something around almost 100 bottles of Bailey's. I sold them out of this, and it was to the point where I actually got to leave my promotion early and still get paid for the hours that I hadn't worked because there was no inventory left to sell. But that wasn't my fault that I had done my job so well, so they just let me go home.
So do you have any tips to offer our young listeners, because you've been a bartender, you've been in sales, about how to be a high performer?
I would say, push yourself is something I always say. And it's funny because I also say to rest and, take balance when you need it. But, it's about finding the balance between the two. But I would say get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's something I like to say as well, because that's where you grow. If you stay where you're always comfortable and where you always feel safe, you're never going to learn anything new, and you're never going to push any sort of boundaries. So, you just need to take those chances and get comfortable with being uncomfortable and putting yourself out there.
Speaking of being uncomfortable, how did you deal with the lecherous men? Because I am sure that you were beating them off with a stick and you had guys hitting on you all the time.
As a bartender and a promotional model, yes, that was definitely a large part of it. I think it's learning to use it to your advantage, but I feel like that's also something that women of all, over years have had to do, right? There's so many situations where we have to just kind of grin and bear it, even to this day, and things have gotten so much better. Don't get me wrong. But, watching Mad Men and all my old shows and looking at how far we've come and how things used to be to how they are now. But some men still have that mentality, that they're stuck in the past. So really just, smiling and trying to just sort of ignore it. Obviously, if people get inappropriate with you physically, I would definitely take it up with a bouncer or something and you are out of there, buddy. But, people are going to say what they're going to say. And that happens on the internet too. And in real life all the time. So you have to sort of learn to just shake it off and stay focused on you and what you're doing.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.